Good late afternoon to you viewers, and thanks for joining us. I'm Holly and you're watching 𝐃𝐿 TV live from Sydney. This is the last show of the day, the last trade. In today's show, we're looking at the overall ASX 200 performance for the day and also exploring gainers and losers, followed by shares that grabbed the limelight today, including names like Beach Energy, Dominos Pizza, Iron Bank, Zinc, and many more. Then I'll be sharing some trading updates from the Asian and global markets in the final segment. So let's get started. Well, today the Aussie share market kicked off trade with a fall of 0.5%, led predominantly by a sharp fall in healthcare stocks. The initial drop was in line with expectations following a mixed session overnight on Wall Street, as energy and utilities companies seem to be the only saving grace back home. By the market close, the ASX 200 closed lower, dropping 1.47% and crossing below its 125-day moving average. Over the last 5 days, the index is virtually unchanged, but is currently 4.68% below its 52-week high. Sectors set up a mixed performance today, with 9 of 11 ending lower, barring energy and utilities, of course. The energy sector was the best performer, with a 3.91% gain and 12.74% gain for the past 5 days. Now for a look at the top gainers and losers of the day. Well, the energy companies ruled the gainers list, and the top performer on the ASX pack was Beach Energy, after the company's annual general meetings unveiled a flurry of plans. Stick with me to learn more about it in the next few minutes. But now moving on to Oil Search, who was the next best performer, up 5.5%. The following two positions were also claimed by energy companies: Whitehaven Coal up 5.8% and Santos up 5.6% very similarly. And the fifth position stood yet another energy player, Origin Energy, up 5.4%. Very identical score there. And on the flip side, Pro Medicus topped the losers chart by falling a staggering, unfortunate 6.71%. Some of the top laggards were ASX Zero, Charter Hall, Evolution Mining, and Fortescue Metals. Now let's shift our lens to the stocks that grabbed investor attention today. And the first update comes to us from Dominos Pizza, whose Australian and New Zealand boss Nick Knight is leaving the pizza chain amid a restructuring. Knight will be succeeded by David Burness. The ultimate aim is to strengthen the management ahead of international expansion. The company will be creating new senior executive roles to oversee expansion into the Asia-Pacific region and Europe. Notably, Mr. Knight had the largest network of Domino's stores of any franchise and won the Domino's Top Award from the company's international thrice. Domino's stock traded lower by nearly 2% after this update. And following that, Warm Capital, one of the largest listed ASX companies on the ASX, has a bid for the investment firm PM Capital Asian Opportunities, which had 54.9 million in assets at the start of the month. The proposed conditional off-market bid would take the form of a scheme of arrangement where investors would receive one WAM Capital share for every 1.99 PM Capital Asian Opportunity shares they own. WAM shares plummeted today by 0.2%. Well, moving on, Whitehaven Coal jumped nearly percent to the largest level since 2019 on a closing price basis, thanks to a booming rally in the price of coal, which has edged up to $180 per ton, according to Commonwealth Bank data. Demand from China and Europe has helped to spur a broad rally in energy commodities that has surged in gas and oil prices. Now, with that said, it's time for a short break, but stay tuned because I'll be right back with more trading market updates.
Tune in to get the latest information.
Whether it's about market movements or the currency graph,
Sectoral coverage or industry news.
we cover it all on our news segments.
Be on top of the latest news
With 𝐃𝐿 TV. Boarding pass, please. Hi, I'm Holly Shields, and I'll be your host for 𝐾𝐤𝐴 TV's new show, Travel Insights. Tune in to get the latest developments in the travel and tourism space, from updates on restrictions to travel guides to info about recreation and outdoor activities, or tour guides to the financials of the sector. Though the travel industry has been hit hard from the pandemic, there is still potential left for a revival on the back of economic upturn and COVID-safe travel measures. So if you want to know where the travel and tourism space is heading, dust off your passports, pack your bags, and watch Travel Insights every Monday exclusively on 𝐾𝐤𝐴 TV. Hello and welcome back to the market updates here on the Market Close commentary. Let's have a look now at some more stocks grabbing investor attention. Well, Beach Energy shares soared by over 7% today as the oil and gas natural exploration company is targeting an increase in output equivalent to additional 28 million barrels of oil by the year 2024. The company has also signed a deal with BP, which will see it acquire 3.75 million tons of Beach's expected LNG volumes from the 𝐊𝐴𝐴 gas project. Another massive upsurge was seen in Ironbark's zinc shares that soared by 15.6%. The microcap zinc miner welcomed Australia's former Foreign Minister Alexander Downer to board. Meanwhile, Origin Energy shares traded up by nearly 5% after the energy giant said that it will invest another $70 million into UK energy company Octopus as a part of a fresh funding round that values the UK-based entity at $5.5 billion. Notably, Origin's investment in Octopus has tripled in value since last year. And the last stock in this segment, global gold miner AngloGold Ashanti announced the appointment of Marcelo Godoy as Chief Tech Officer, effective November 1. Marcelo joins from the world's largest gold mining company, Newmont Corp, where he is currently Senior Vice President of Exploration Department. He brings deep experience in resource modeling, mine planning, and project development, as well as a track record in leading technical terms and introducing technology to drive sustainable competitive advantages. AngloGold Ashanti shares dropped by 0.3% today. And with that, let's move on to the Asian and global market performance. In the East markets, shares got off to a cautious start this week as a jump in oil prices to 3-year highs is likely to inflame inflation fears and aggravate the recent hawkish turn by some major central banks. Indian shares opened flat today, drifting near record highs scaled last week, as gains in auto and energy stocks countered losses in tech and retail scripts. To Japan now, and Japanese shares slipped, dragged down by losses in chip makers and shippers as investors chose to pocket profits ahead of a leadership election in the ruling party. The Nikkei share average fell 0.45%, whereas the broader topics lost 0.63%. South Korean shares also fell in line with their Asian peers, lingering fears over the China Evergrande Group's debt crisis and worries about the potential impact of a widening power shortage in China seems to be impacting the whole of Asia. Beyond the continent, though, Wall Street's major stock indexes ended mixed on Monday, as losses by tech and healthcare companies outweighed gains elsewhere in the market. The S&P 500 fell 0.3%, and the tech-heavy Nasdaq Composite fell 0.5% as well, just a little bit above, while the Dow Jones Industrial Average maintained a 0.2% gain. Now it's the last leg of our show today. Let's have a quick look at the crypto market performance. While the global cryptocurrency market cap is $1.89 trillion, a 3.12% decrease over the last day. Bitcoin's price is currently $42,000 just over that limit. And the slump seems to have been triggered after China reiterated its hostile stance on cryptocurrency mining and transactions. Investors could now be flicking to DEX tokens, which allows for a greater autonomy and control over their transaction as compared to centralized exchanges, like Binance and Coinbase. What remains to be seen is whether Bitcoin holders can sustain enough buying power to support further price increases into the fourth quarter. Prices are now back near the cost basis for the most short-term holders, similar to September of 2020, which preceded a price rally. Well, with that said, that is a wrap for today, guys, but I hope you found the show interesting and you enjoyed the market close commentary. We'll be back tomorrow live from City at 9:30 a.m. in the morning with our first report on the pre-market scene. Take care and stay safe. Holly Shields signing off.